September the 26th, 2021. Something has peeved me. A couple days ago, on social media, I saw this graphic a couple of times. I took an instant disliking to it, and I knew why. And it's something I've talked about before. I grabbed the graphic, I grabbed my comparison graphics, I was like, see, just like I thought, and I was vaguely formulating the idea to shoot a video about it. And I thought, why am I doing this? Why am I upsetting myself? Nobody cares. I'm the only one that cares about this kind of thing. Just let it go. Stop making yourself angry for no reason. And the next morning, on Facebook, I get a message from Jacob Bartlett saying, did you have the same thought I did when you saw this? And I said, oh, let me see. Does this screenshot of my photo editing program look familiar? So here's what I find frustrating about this. Rather than working from the actual item, which is clearly the SH Figuarts figure, 7 inches tall, it's not like these artists buy this thing, pose it how they think it needs to be posed, break its hands on camera, continue talking while they pick things up off the floor so the dog doesn't run over here and eat one of them, then slide back into frame. So they're not saying, oh yes, this is a wonderful model for me to work from. I will track one of these down and I will put him in a pose and I will light him from a particular angle and I will put the camera where I want the camera to be and I will compose the image the way it is in my brain. That's not what happens. They don't do that. They go on Google or whatever search engine and they go, hey, I need a picture of Stay Puft from which to make my painting. Stay Puft. And they find some really high quality photos from a couple of years ago of the SH Figuarts toy. The exact same photos that we've seen over and over. The sales photos, the promotional photos of this figure. And they go, that's good enough. And they take a bunch of other stuff like frame grabs from movies or trailers and they throw those in there too. I keep seeing one that's a poster and people keep sharing it and they're like, wow, I love this poster. And I'm like, okay, that's Bill Murray's face from Stripes. That's an action figure of Slimer. And that's 2 Vince Clorthos and no Zool. That one, but anyway, there's nothing creative about that. It's simply derivative. They didn't even use a movie frame. They Googled and found an image and said, yeah, that's good enough. In the particular case of this Empire magazine cover, they at least went to the trouble of taking the angry face from one photo and the body and hand position from another photo and combining them before they made the rest of the image. You can actually see a telltale little dark spot across his chin. That is where the bib was in the angry pose like this. And then he realigns it. He can't even match the 2 whites. I don't get it. I don't get it. If your finished painting, if your finished piece of artwork looks exactly like a bunch of images that everybody knows and can recognize, not just me, Jacob did it too. If we know those images and we've seen those images and you use those exact same images, what is the point in the painting? What is the point in a piece of artwork? You know? You took existing things, you put them together in a collage, and you sold it. I mean, basically that's all they're doing is making a collage. Years ago, a friend of mine was a model for the Hildebrandt brothers when they did a series of Star Wars Topps cards. And I've seen the comparison photos, the before and the after, and they would have to hold these, like, as Steve put it, these comic booky poses, while the painters were making their sketches and filling in the details, and they would get the lighting and the shadows just the way they wanted it, and the models would have to stand there and hold the pose. Sometimes they'd take, you know, a snapshot, a Polaroid, whatever, and then they'd take a picture of Steve holding up a Halloween mask, but then they'd put the likeness of the actual movie Alien on that. Or they'd take a picture of this guy and this woman holding broom handles, and they'd turn that into lightsabers and hilts, and they'd put Mark Hamill's face on their body. You know, that to me is artistry. But Googling, cutting and pasting, and probably running it through a filter that makes it look like it's been painted, to me is not artistry. That is not worthy of my attention. Okay? Create something. Don't just recombine things. Says the guy that customizes action figures all the time. Now I feel bad. My whole existence is a lie. Thank you for watching.